I've never wished so desperately for my girlfriend to cheat on me. Honestly, my girlfriend, Lily Wagner, brought a man back to the apartment I rent. I stared at the live security camera feed on my phone, feeling nervous and anxious, but mostly hopeful. In the video, my girlfriend Lily showed the man to the couch, then went to the fridge and got him an ice-cold Coke. She handed it to him and sat down beside him. The guy took the Coke but didn't open it, just set it on the coffee table. When he saw Lily sit down next to him, he reached for her hand. Lily hesitated for a moment, but then let him take it. Seeing this, I widened my eyes and stared intently at my phone screen, not daring to blink. Emboldened when Lily didn't pull away, the guy tugged her hand and pulled her into his arms. Lily seemed shocked by his boldness, her mouth falling open slightly. Whether she was too stunned to react or he was holding her too tightly, she didn't push him away. "Lily, I like you. I'm crazy about you," the man exclaimed. Clearly not satisfied with just hugging Lily, and noticing she wasn't struggling, he eagerly leaned in to kiss her. Seeing this, I grew even more tense, but also more hopeful. Was she finally going to cheat? "Jake, stop!" Lily suddenly pushed Jake away forcefully. I don't know if it was guilt over being so intimate with Jake in the apartment I rented, or if she was genuinely affected, but Lily's face was bright red, and she was breathing heavily. Jake looked embarrassed after being pushed away, but the embarrassment quickly faded, replaced by an earnest expression as he gazed at Lily. "I'm sorry, Lily. I got carried away." "It's okay. I don't blame you," Lily said softly, her face still flushed. Hearing this, Jake's face lit up. "But I have a boyfriend, as you know. We can't do this," Lily continued. For Jake, this was like a bucket of cold water dumped on his head. The joy drained from his face. As I watched the scene unfold on my phone, I couldn't help but sigh, my own hopes fading and replaced by bitter disappointment. "Lily, can I be honest? Please don't get mad," Jake said after a moment of silence. "Go ahead," Lily replied, looking at him. "Your boyfriend doesn't deserve you," Jake declared emphatically. "You're from here, an only child. I don't know his family situation, but he's been working here for 4 years and still renting. He probably can't even afford to buy a place here. He's not good enough for you." "Damn, bro, keep talking," I muttered to myself, watching the video. "If you can convince her to break up with me today, I'll bow down to you 8 times. Lily was quiet for a while after hearing Jake's words. Finally, she said his family situation isn't bad, actually. Even though he's not from here, his parents both work for the government back home. That's already better than most people. "You been to his hometown? Met his parents?" Jake asked immediately. "No." Lily shook her head. Lily was telling the truth. She'd never been to my hometown. But my parents being government employees was also true. That's what I'd told her. I hadn't lied. I had thought about bringing Lily home to meet my parents before, but decided against it. She never brought it up, so I pretended I hadn't thought of it either. It's not that I'm a jerk. There are reasons which I'll explain later. For now, the surveillance footage is more important. "So it's just what he told you?" Jake immediately took on a wise, concerned tone. "Lily, I don't mean to criticize, but aren't you being a bit naive? Believing everything he says? If I were in his situation, alone in a new city, renting, dating a local girl who's an only child, I'd definitely talk up my family." Jake was clearly faking the concerned act. His intentions were obvious to anyone watching. But I zoomed in on Jake's eyes, wanting to confirm something. Did he really think Lily was that naive? They say the eyes are the window to the soul. A person can fake their expression, but it's hard to fake what's in their eyes. Though Jake was putting on a concerned front, I could see a glimmer of cunning in his eyes. Seeing that glint, I relaxed. Jake really did think Lily was naive. Naive means easy to fool. It means Jake will definitely keep trying until he succeeds in seducing Lily. From my 4 years of dating Lily, I know she's not as simple as Jake thinks. She may not be particularly cunning, but she's definitely not as naive as Jake believes. In other words, even though Lily pushed Jake away when he tried to kiss her, she's already considering it. She didn't reject him immediately when he held her hand. She didn't struggle when he hugged her. That shows she's open to the possibility. If she wasn't interested at all, she would have firmly rejected Jake when he first touched her hand. She might even have yelled at him. She wouldn't have brought Jake back to my apartment at all if she wasn't interested. And she wouldn't still be sitting here chatting with Jake after pushing him away from the kiss if she wasn't considering it. Realizing this, I felt hope rising again, my disappointment fading away. Really? Lily looked uncertain. You may have a point. Maybe I should ask him to take me to his hometown, to meet his parents, and see if he's telling the truth. Jake clearly hadn't expected his words to backfire like this, making Lily want to visit my family. He was momentarily stunned. Hearing Lily say this, I was also alarmed. I gritted my teeth and cursed. Jake, you'd better come up with something fast to change your mind. If Lily asks to meet my family, I swear I'll kill you. Jake didn't let me down. His eyes lit up as he quickly said, This is exactly why I say you're naive. You shouldn't have to ask for this kind of thing. He should want to take you home to meet his parents on his own. If he doesn't bring it up himself, it means he's not serious about you. Don't you see? I guess. I guess that makes sense. Lily pondered. So what do you think I should do? You shouldn't do anything, Jake said decisively. Just wait and see how long it takes him to suggest bringing you home to meet his parents. You've been together, what, 3 years? You need to set a deadline in your mind. If he doesn't bring it up by then, you need to break up with him. Because if it's been this long and he still won't take you to meet his family, he's clearly not serious about you. Hearing Jake's quick thinking, I mentally gave him a thumbs up. Dude, even I find that convincing. You're talented. I'm rooting for you. After hearing Jake's words, Lily was quiet for a while. Then she nodded slightly, though I'm not sure she was really setting a mental deadline for me to take her to meet my parents. If that deadline passed, and I still didn't bring it up, would she really break up with me? If so, I swear I'd bow down to Jake 8 times and thank his ancestors to the 18th generation. Let's not talk about this anymore. I need to grab some files, and we should head back to the office, Lily said. She went to my home office and came back with a folder. Jake stood up too, and they walked towards the door together. As they walked side by side, Jake reached out and took Lily's hand. Lily made a token effort to pull away, but then let Jake hold her hand as they left the apartment. I closed the remote surveillance app and put my phone in my pocket, then lit a cigarette. I was in the fire escape stairwell in my office building, sitting on the steps. I have several hidden cameras set up in the apartment I rent. They send an alert when there's movement. Lily doesn't know about the cameras. I set them up to keep an eye on her, but not because I was worried about her cheating. What I saw today was completely unexpected. But for me, it was a pleasant surprise, because I've never wished so desperately for my girlfriend Lily to cheat on me. Really. Or rather, before seeing this today, it had never even occurred to me that Lily might cheat. It was only after seeing this scene that I suddenly felt an urgent hope for Lily to cheat. Don't misunderstand. I'm not a pervert. I'm a normal guy. No one wants their girlfriend to cheat and make them a cuckold. I'm no different. The reason I now desperately hope for Lily to cheat is because I have no other choice. Lily and I met 3 years ago and started dating immediately. When we first got together, Lily really was as gentle as water. I thought I'd found my soulmate, but the good times didn't last. Her gentle nature only lasted about a year before her true personality came out. I clearly remember our first fight on June 15th, 2 years ago. She asked me to notice what was different about her that day. I looked her up and down, but couldn't see anything different. Finally, I learned she bought a new lipstick in a different shade. I'm a guy. I don't wear lipstick. How was I supposed to know the difference between auburn and mocha brown? Especially when those two colors looked exactly the same to me. I said, aren't those the same color? And she exploded. She started screaming hysterically that I didn't care about her at all, that she wasn't important to me. The scary part was she was clenching her fists and pounding them against the wall. The force and sound were terrifying. But at the time, I didn't realize how serious the problem was. I just felt bad and quickly apologized to calm her down. Little did I know, that was just the beginning of my nightmare. Or you could say, Lily finally started showing her true self bit by bit. All couples fight sometimes, even married ones, right? Lily and I have fought plenty in the 2 years since then. Her true nature became clearer with each fight, and I grew more and more afraid. Smashing phones and computers became routine. In these 2 years, she smashed 4 phones and 1 computer. And the reasons for fighting were ridiculous. Like me downloading a game while she was trying to watch a show. She'd claim I was slowing down her video and didn't care about her. Or we'd see a news story and disagree, and she'd start a fight over that. She'd even fight because I prefer casual clothes, and she wants me to dress up more. The worst part was, with each fight she'd go crazy smashing things, and it kept getting worse. Later, because I was busy with work and took a while to reply to her message, she actually came to wait outside my office. Then she started a huge argument right there on the street. When I couldn't calm her down and didn't want to make a scene, I tried walking away. But then she ran into the middle of the road and laid down. This wasn't just unbearable. It was dangerous. She could have been hit by a car. I had to quickly stop traffic and run to carry her off the road. I let her hit me until she calmed down. After that incident, one day I was playing a game while she napped. Suddenly, she came over and started arguing because she dreamed I cheated on her. The ridiculous reason for fighting aside, I think she got a taste for it after the scene outside my office. She started using violence against me, biting, scratching, hitting like a rabid dog. I was truly scared. She clearly had violent tendencies. I righteously told her we should break up. She immediately grabbed a kitchen knife and cut her wrist. I was so frightened I took back what I'd said about breaking up. That incident was about 6 months ago. You'd think things would have calmed down since then? Wrong. Very wrong. In the past 6 months, she still fights with me. But there's been a new development. She's given up cutting herself. Now she threatens to jump out the window. Don't think I'm joking. She really tries to jump. If I hadn't grabbed her hand quickly that one time, she would have gone right out the window. You don't understand. She doesn't slowly climb onto the windowsill to scare me. She sprints full speed towards the window and leaps. How can I risk calling her bluff? This is a human life we're talking about. Besides, we've been together 3 years. It's not like I have no feelings for her. Also, as Jake mentioned, she's an only child. If something really happened to her, what about her parents? Watching their child die before them? The thought makes my skin crawl. Most importantly, I saw a news story recently. A 22-year-old woman committed suicide by jumping in a lake after a breakup. Her parents sued the ex-boyfriend for $57 million in damages. Guess how the court ruled? The court ordered him to pay $200,000 for emotional distress. This is a true story. You can look it up. Anyway, now it's not even about whether we fight or not. As soon as something doesn't go her way, she immediately threatens to jump out the window. You dare argue with me? I'll jump. You try to dodge when I hit you? I'll jump. You don't listen to me? I'll jump. How could I bring a girlfriend like this home to meet my parents? I'd have to be crazy. I will never, ever bring her to meet my parents. She's not a girlfriend. She's a ticking time bomb. About 2 months ago, my company started a new project. I was assigned to the project team. Because it was urgent, we had to work a lot of overtime. Sometimes I'd sleep at the office when we worked too late. Guess what happened? I got a call from the police telling me to come home right away. My girlfriend was threatening to jump out the window. I rushed home and finally managed to talk her down from the roof. I was confused. We hadn't even been fighting lately. What was going on? Turns out it was because I'd been working so much overtime and not coming home often. She felt neglected and became suicidal. The police officer lectured me sternly, saying I shouldn't neglect my girlfriend even if I'm busy with work. I was so frustrated, but what could I say? I could only keep promising the officer it wouldn't happen again. We're lucky it's 2024. The officer only gave her a mild warning. If it had been a man threatening suicide and causing such a disturbance, he'd probably be arrested. Afterwards, I secretly installed several hidden cameras around the apartment, afraid she'd pull something like that again. Today, when she brought Jake back, it triggered an alert. I checked the feed, worried she was up to something, and ended up seeing this whole scene. All couples fight sometimes, but Lily fights with her life on the line. Who could handle that? Stuck with such an unstable, violent girlfriend in today's cultural climate, I saw no way out. I had no hope. After 2 years of mental and physical torment, I felt deeply pessimistic. I'd resigned myself to this being my life. I'd even prepared for the worst. Marrying Lily, but never bringing her to meet my parents. I figured I'd eat lots of junk food, smoke and drink heavily, develop all kinds of unhealthy habits to die young, and get it over with. Life is only a few fleeting decades. I could grit my teeth and get through it. As for happiness, that was clearly not in the cards for me. Seeing this scene today, I wanted to cry tears of joy. It was like manna from heaven. I sat on the stairs, quietly smoking. From the looks of it, this Jake guy must be Lily's coworker. They probably see each other every day at work. Should I start following them? Don't suggest hiring a private investigator. That only happens in movies and TV. It's illegal here, no one actually does it. Even if someone was brave enough to take that kind of job under the table, the price would be astronomical. I couldn't afford it. After thinking it over, I decided to wait and see how things develop. Lily's behavior today shows she's considering it. And Jake's actions make it clear he won't give up until he gets what he wants. Since Lily brought Jake back to my apartment today, it will probably happen again. I've already endured for 2 years. I can be patient a little longer. After finishing my cigarette, I went back to my desk and worked the rest of the afternoon. I left work on time and went straight home. Since I rent the apartment, of course it's close to my office. When I got off work, Lily wasn't home yet. The Coke was still on the coffee table. I didn't put it away, just sat on the couch and scrolled through videos on my phone. About half an hour later, Lily came home. "You're back." I glanced at her. "What do you want for dinner?" Even though Lily and I have been together for 3 years and live together, neither of us can cook. We usually order takeout. I ordered big plate chicken on my way home. "It should be here soon," Lily said, sitting down next to me. I was watching Lily closely. When she sat down, she noticed the Coke she'd forgotten to put away. A look of panic flashed across her face. Then, trying to act natural, Lily picked up the Coke, opened it, took a sip, and set it back on the coffee table. She pulled out her own phone and started scrolling through videos. I pretended not to notice her moment of panic, but it made me even more confident. That flash of panic shows she still has some shame. As long as she cares about saving face, if she really does cheat, I'll have a much better chance of breaking up with her when I confront her with evidence. Of course, this is just my analysis. We'll have to wait and see what actually happens. As it happens, my company just started another new project and made me the team lead. Unlike last time, though, this project isn't as rushed. But I still told Lily that as the new project lead, I'd be very busy. From that day on, even when I had nothing to do, I came home late, pretending to be swamped with work and needing to stay late at the office. I don't know if Lily was developing feelings for Jake, or if she was just more and more tempted, but she didn't cause any trouble this time when I was working late so often. About 2 weeks later, around 4 p.m. one afternoon, dark clouds started rolling in from the south, covering the previously clear sky. The air pressure dropped, making it hard to breathe. Clearly a big storm was coming. But by the time work ended, the rain still hadn't started. The clouds just kept getting thicker, the air pressure lower, with distant rumbles of thunder. This kind of weather meant the storm would definitely hit sooner or later. I planned to go home right after work, but then we hit a snag with the project. My team and I had to stay late to deal with it. I texted Lily saying I was working late and might not make it home. If it got too late, I'd just sleep at the office. Even though Lily and I haven't broken up and she hasn't cheated yet, I still needed to let her know I might not be home. Her family is local. With this stormy weather, she'd probably want to go stay with her parents since she's afraid of thunder. After all, her family is from here. It's just that her office isn't in the same district as her parents' home, so it's a bit far. My rented apartment is closer to her office than her parents' place. That's one reason she moved in with me after we started dating. To my surprise, about 40 minutes later, I got a security alert on my phone. I checked and saw that Lily hadn't gone to her parents. She'd gone back to my apartment. I needed to focus on fixing the project issue, so I stopped monitoring her and got back to work with my colleagues. Around 9 or 10 p.m., the distant thunder grew louder and clearer. The wind picked up too. The storm was about to break. I told my team I was stepping out for a smoke. I went to the building entrance and lit up. The cool pre-rain breeze felt nice, much better than the AC inside. I lit a cigarette and looked up at the pitch-black sky. Plop, plop. Big raindrops started falling one by one. A flash of purple lightning split the sky, followed by a deafening boom. The thunder was so loud, I felt the vibrations. Maybe it was just my imagination. Lightning flashed, and thunder crashed again and again. After brewing for so long, this storm wouldn't blow over quickly. I stood in the doorway, watching the downpour and feeling the power of the thunder. Suddenly, my phone buzzed with another security alert. I quickly opened the app and saw Lily, wearing a silk nightgown, opening the apartment door. A man, soaking wet, stood outside. Lily let him in. It was Jake. "What's going on?" Jake asked as he came inside, wiping rain from his face. "Your boyfriend's not home comforting you in this weather? Doesn't he know you're afraid of thunder?" "His company started a new project, and he's the team lead," Lily said, sounding a bit pouty. "He texted saying they hit a snag, and he has to work late. He might not come home at all." Ah, Jake sighed heavily, not saying anything else. Seeing Jake soak through, Lily quickly went to the bathroom and got him a towel. Jake took the towel without a word and promptly stripped off his shirt, drying himself off. Lily took his wet shirt and hung it up to dry. When Lily came back to the living room, Jake had finished toweling off and tossed the towel on the couch. Lily looked at Jake without speaking. Jake looked back at her in silence. Suddenly, a flash of purple lightning, followed by an ear-splitting crack of thunder. Lily screamed and threw herself into Jake's arms, clinging to him. What happened next doesn't need to be described in detail. They moved from the living room to the bedroom, then from the bedroom to the balcony. I smoked and watched it all unfold on my phone in real time. Though I wasn't entirely calm, I didn't feel much else either. It was all within expectations. Not surprising at all? I let out a long breath, closed the surveillance app, and went back upstairs to keep working. The cameras at home have local storage and cloud backup. There's no risk of losing the footage. But I wasn't planning to confront Lily right away. That would be too obvious. I didn't go home after finishing work, just slept at the office. The next day after work, I went home and Lily acted completely normal, as if she'd never cheated. 5 days later, I compiled all the surveillance video. When I got home from work, I played it for Lily to watch. She didn't need to see her scenes with Jake. She'd experienced them firsthand. You put hidden cameras in the apartment? Lily went berserk and ran for the window again, clearly threatening to jump. I grabbed Lily and stared intently at her. Lily, how could you do this after 3 years together? How could you betray me like this? Do you know why I installed the cameras? I continued before she could respond, sounding hurt and indignant. That time you threatened to jump and the police came, the officer criticized me for not spending enough time with you. I put in cameras to prevent you from doing something stupid, not to spy on you. Lily seemed caught off guard by this explanation. Hearing my words, she froze in place. When I grabbed Lily as she ran for the window, I could tell she was just going through the motions this time. She didn't have that fighting with her life intensity from before, when I could barely hold her back. Lily, if you don't love me anymore, you could have said so. Why did you have to cheat? I berated her, sounding disgusted. Do you have any idea how much this hurts me? Maybe because she felt guilty, or maybe because she'd already transferred her affections to Jake. Lily stayed silent this time instead of arguing back. I yelled at her for being unfaithful, then tearfully described how much she'd hurt me. Finally, I exploded in rage, acting furious. After carrying on like this for almost an hour, Lily finally spoke. Let's break up. Those 3 words were music to my ears. I immediately shouted at her to pack her things and get out, that I never wanted to see her again. Lily didn't say anything, just quietly packed up her belongings and left with her suitcase. Damn, getting her to say those words was not easy. I was running out of ways to keep up the act. Nearly an hour of yelling and raging. I was almost out of things to say. But that's life. You've got to commit to the performance. After Lily left, I immediately contacted the landlord. I told him I was moving out, forfeiting the remaining months of rent. I'd be packed and gone that night, so he could come take possession of the apartment right away. I said he could keep the security deposit too. Anything I couldn't take with me tonight, I didn't want. I stayed in a hotel that night. First thing in the morning, I went in my office and quit my job, refusing any severance. After leaving the company, I didn't go back to my hometown. Instead, I went to a completely different city. The first thing I did there was change my phone number and delete all my previous contact information. I wanted to disappear completely from Lily's world. Then I found a new job in that city. After working there for a year, I finally quit and went home. Of course, I let my parents know when I changed my contact info. Over that year, I stayed in touch with my parents. Whenever we talked, I casually asked if any of my old classmates or friends had come looking for me. Fortunately, my parents always said no one had come asking about me. After going back home, I found a temporary job while studying for the civil service exam. My hometown is a small county-level city without many good job opportunities. Taking the civil service exam is the best option. Maybe my luck improved after getting away from Lily, or maybe the stars aligned, but I passed the exam on my first try. After starting in my new government job, some of the older coworkers, especially the aunties around my parents' age, started trying to set me up almost immediately. After my experience with Lily, I was extremely cautious about this kind of thing. But these aunties were so enthusiastic and my parents were pressuring me to get married too. So I started accepting the introductions and going on blind dates. But I made it very clear to the Annies, I didn't care about looks or family background. The most important things were emotional stability and good character. I have to say, introductions from people you know really are more reliable than finding someone on your own. Annie Wong introduced me to her niece, Sophia Chun. Sophia isn't a stunning beauty, but she has lovely pale skin. As they say, fair skin covers a multitude of flaws. On a scale of 1 to 10, Sophia is easily a 7. Most importantly, Sophia is truly emotionally stable. She's always smiling and not dramatic at all. Our small town is pretty interconnected. Everyone knows someone who knows someone. My parents asked around and found out Sophia's family has a good reputation and she was raised well. One day, Sophia and I were on a date when I saw an online post that made my eyes go wide. "What's wrong?" Sophia noticed my expression change. "Did you see some big news?" "Take a look," I said, handing her my phone. On my screen was the post I'd just been reading. Someone was venting and asking for advice. He said he had a girlfriend with the initials LW who was extremely volatile, self-harmed, and often threatened suicide by jumping out windows. He said every argument ended with her threatening to jump. He was constantly on edge. The scary part was she didn't fake it. When she ran for the window, he could barely hold her back. She'd sprint full speed like she was doing the 100-meter dash. He said he'd been suffering mental and physical torment for over a year and felt on the verge of collapse. He was asking for advice on how to break up with her. To be honest, when I saw the girlfriend's initials were LW, my first thought was of Lily Wagner. But I didn't think it could be such a coincidence. I even remembered how the day I fled that city, after quitting my job, I'd been so elated I wanted to find Jake and thank him in person. Thank him for generously coming to my aid when I was in despair, allowing me to escape and save my life. But he was Lily's co-worker, and I was afraid I might run into her if I went to thank him. That's the only reason I suppressed my excitement and gratitude at the time. "This Jake's girlfriend must have mental health issues," Sophia said, looking at my phone. "What? How do you know his name is Jake?" I asked immediately. "Look, someone in the comments figured out who he is." Sophia leaned in close, pointing at a comment. "It says his name is Jake Sullivan and his girlfriend is Lily Wagner. The commenter says Jake deserves it because he stole Lily from her previous boyfriend to become her new boyfriend." Sure enough, when I looked where Sophia was pointing, there really was a comment saying exactly that. I couldn't help but marvel at how big yet small the world is, that I'd randomly come across this update about Jake and Lily. Oh, Jake, I thought to myself, all I can do now is silently pray that someone comes along to steal Lily from you too. If that doesn't happen, I guess you're stuck with her. You're not a great guy yourself. So at least keep Lily from going out and hurting any other men. What are you thinking about?" Sophia asked, handing back my phone and linking her arm through mine. I was thinking, how can there be such emotionally unstable people out there? I sighed, and also thinking that the guy Jake stole Lily from must have burned some serious good karma. He's incredibly lucky. Have you heard that saying? Sophia smiled. Birds of a feather flock together. An extremely unstable girl who's like a ticking bomb, and a guy who knowingly pursues someone else's girlfriend. They're perfect for each other. You're right, I said, tapping her nose playfully. You're not that kind of unstable person, are you? You already know the answer to that, Sophia laughed. You think your aunt and uncle didn't ask around about me and my family? And we checked up on you and your family too. That's the good thing about small towns. A few questions, and you know everything about someone. I just smiled, not saying anything. Sophia was right. My family didn't know her family had asked about me and my background. A few months later, Sophia and I got engaged. The following year, we got married. A year after that, our baby girl was born. Just 6 months later, Sophia got pregnant with our second child. The thing that makes me feel happiest is that Sophia isn't dramatic at all. She's even more emotionally stable than I am. I've silently vowed to be good to her and our children for the rest of my life, to fulfill my responsibilities as a man and be the pillar of our family.